Welcome to the very first episode of the Lone Recruiter podcast. I'm your host, Brett Clemenson, and if you're a recruiter out on your own or just lacking general guidance or mentorship, then you've come to the right place. Our daily episodes are designed to give you the motivation, advice, strategies you need to succeed as a lone recruiter. So join us, grab a cup of coffee, and let's take your desk to another level. I want to kick this one off. I showed my 9-year-old daughter the new branding concepts for this podcast last night, and she's so innocent. She said, "But Dad, you're not alone. Don't you have a company with heaps of people in it?" And my response was, "Yes, yeah, you're correct, Izzy. But there are a lot of recruiters out there on their own, and I want to help them." So that's this podcast in a nutshell. I thought it was a nice little anecdote to start this one off. Practical, actionable, bite-sized episodes that will make a massive difference to your day-to-day recruiting. So I don't plan to sell you anything. I don't plan to bait and switch. I genuinely want to contribute to the lone recruiter community across Australia and around the world. I get a lot of enjoyment out of it, and I hope you guys get something out of it as well. So today is Monday, and for me, it's super important that you plan your week so that you have some sort of control over your outcomes. And in our job, recruitment, our time gets hijacked all the time. A client calls, a candidate texts, an email comes in. It's all attention-grabbing stuff. It's very distracting, right? Some of it's good, some of it's not, but it's very distracting nonetheless. And look, not only that, if you're anything like me, you get to the end of the week and you can say, "Yeah, cool, I made some placements. I feel good about that." But there's also still that feeling like I got nothing done. It is, it's a super stressful feeling. And I think a lot of recruiters feel it. So I was listening to a podcast by Rob Dial. I'm not sure if you've heard of him. He mentions something called the Zeigarnik Effect. Zeigarnik. Zeigarnik Effect. It's a psychological phenomenon describing a tendency for people to remember interrupted or incomplete tasks or an event more easily than tasks that have been completed. And I went, that totally makes sense. I'm forever thinking about all the things I didn't get done, never really thinking about the things I did get done and ticked off. So I wanted to test this theory, and for a week, I tracked every day's achievements, not just what I got done, but the major things, the things that actually move the needle. So, we all look at our KPIs. We make sure we're getting the right amount of interviews and people in just so we can track, are we on track or not? But it was things like I met a prospective recruiter for our team. I got an agreement from certain individuals to assist on website development. I got my source reviews uploaded. How many ice baths did I get done this week? How many gyms? Everything that mattered to me and my goals, I noted down. And every day, there was probably 8 to 10 things I jotted down. It took me 2 seconds. I use Apple Notes for my to-do list items. So I've got that little circle thing. Once you tick it, it's done. So they're already there anyway. I didn't really have to do much. I just didn't delete them. And so at the end of the week, I looked at it and I went, holy crap. I got so much done. Even though I still had that feeling of, made a placement or two, got a few interviews on, my day-to-day was fine. I still had that feeling of, it's Friday, there's always more I could do. I can tell you now, looking at that list, looking at what you've actually achieved, holy crap. Complete shift in mentality. And I can tell you now, I hopped and skipped into the weekend and I felt $1 million about it. So I now do it as a habit. I keep my things there, and I'm going to, once a month, cull that down to what are the most important parts. It's kind of like at the end of the year, go look at all the things that you achieved. So highly recommend it. If you're someone who gets to the end of the week, feels like nothing has been achieved, just start jotting down the things that you did achieve and reviewing that at the end of the week. And I bet you're going to feel so much better about yourselves. It's all perspective. So that's my red hot tip for the week. What I want to move on to now is the guts of it. Let's plan your desk for this week. And everyone does it a different way, but if you want to get a bit of steering on what you need to focus on and what's important, just grab a piece of paper, grab a pen. I've got I don't know what I've got, just 7 dot points to run through, and it might prompt some ideas for you. And it may not. And you might turn this podcast off and never watch me again. But hey, at least we tried. So this week, let's jot down. Number 1, what are the 3 outcomes that you want to achieve? So is it, amount of placements? Is it the amount of LinkedIn projects or headhunt campaigns you want to get done? How many new roles do you need to get in? What activities do you need to support all of these things? So what are the 3 key outcomes you want to achieve this week? Okay. It might not be desk related, to be honest. It might be, I really need to get 5 gym sessions in. It might be, I need to make, I don't know, an exuberant amount of calls. Whatever your metric is that you want to achieve this week, because everyone's different in different cycles and different place in their desk. 3 key outcomes. Jot them down. Press pause if you need to. 2. Now let's start looking at what's closest to the money, because let's call a spade a spade. We're recruiters. We're here to make deals and bring the money in. So 1, what invoices need to be sent or followed up on? Are there any offers that you extended over the weekend that you need an answer on today? It's Monday morning. Are there any offers that you need to chase from clients? Do you need to go and call any clients today and go, what's our sort of decision? Are we going to get an offer out? What does that look like? Anyone need to go on pre-close? So 3, let's look at any interviews we need to book today or this week. Who do we need to get interviews for? First or second or final? Just any sort of interview. What needs to be done? Who needs to be booked? What needs to happen? And then flowing on from that, 4, what candidates or clients do we need to prep for that interview? Who do we need to sort of give them the right information? So we all know the balance of power there. Sometimes the candidate holds it, sometimes the client holds it. But prep is absolutely king for both sides. If you've got a candidate who's holding the power because they've got 3 or 4 options, remind them that they haven't got an option until they've got an offer. And it's up to them to get that offer. So leave the arrogance at the door, go and sell themselves for that job. And ultimately, that's how we're going to get you more money. And the same with the client. If they feel like they're in the driver's seat, let's tell them, look, you're up against some other people. But at the same time, we still want you to sell because we want to make this an easy close. We want to get a result. So we've got to coach our clients and candidates all the time. And we almost need to give them the opposite advice to where they think they sit in that scenario. Flip it. If a client is in the weaker position, well, let's prep them with all the things that candidate wants to hear and see from that discussion, and what are really key things that we need to hit on for this individual. Let's prep our clients properly. Let's prep our candidates properly, because if you're having an interview, there's something on paper that everyone says this aligns, we should be having a chat, and prep is key. 5, are there any deals that you have on the go at the moment that need help? So can you get advice on your deal? Can you get objectivity? Do you have any friends that used to be recruiters? Do you have any colleagues that you can speak to? Do you have any ex-managers or current managers that you can say, hey, this deal feels okay, but it's stuck. It's just, I don't know, there's a bit here, there, it's not moving. Getting objectivity on a deal is I think, can shake 20% more deals out of your desk. Absolutely. If you're the sort of person who thinks, I can handle this, you're wrong. I've seen the best recruiters who don't need any advice come on every single deal, and I can tell you now, make more money than you do. 6, what are we generating this week? We always need to be generating deals. Have you got any candidates that you need to canvass that might need to get them interviews for? Are there any clients that you need to get briefs from? Are there any projects that we need to start or complete? When I say projects, whether it's a headhunting campaign or whether it's a LinkedIn project, is what I'm not sure what your metric is, but I like to do 1 to 2 projects a week. And then finally, what's your reward? Like, how do we break up the week? Some people don't need it, but a lot of people do. People need that dopamine hit. So what's your celebration if you achieve everything above? And we always celebrate deals, but are we celebrating actually getting what you set out achieved? And it might not result in deals this week, but I can guarantee you that the deals will flow if you get everything right and if you set it up properly. So are you going to have an early finish on Friday? Are you going to buy yourself a small gift? Are you going to book a weekend away? Are you going to get a massage? I don't know. Whatever your thing is that gets you excited and pushes for, put it there for Friday as an incentive to get everything done. So look, for me, that's Monday set up. And that's all I have time for you today. So 1, let's write down your achievements for this week, and hopefully you'll feel a million times better about your week. And then 2, stick to your plan. If you're going to set a plan up this week or today for this week, stick to your plan and get everything done. I think if you can do those 2 things today for the next 5 days, hey, you might surprise yourself. So join our mailing list. We have a mailing list for all our episode material delivered right to your inbox. It's hello@thelonerecruiter.com. And if you got any value out of today's episode, please subscribe, share, and recommend this podcast, as it really helps us grow and get this out to a wider audience. Have an amazing day, and may all your deals come true.